What's up, everyone? I just wanted to give a quick update here just in regards of weather over the next couple of days. There's a few things talking about both severe weather and then super hot and honestly just really gross this weekend. So for today though, high of 80, mostly sunny skies, although we could see a few thunderstorms pop up in the afternoon. Not expecting any sort of severe weather just due to some daytime heating. So just basically quick little thunderstorms pop up, rains for maybe 10-20 minutes at most, brief downpour, some lightning, maybe even some small hail, and then they fizzle out. But that should leave for a very nice overnight. As the sun goes down, those storms will be gone and mostly clear skies with that low of 58. But as we head into our day tomorrow, we are looking at the potential for some severe weather, a marginal risk 1 out of 5 across the entirety of Minnesota. I guess maybe even just the far north tip of Minnesota might be just out of it. But most of Minnesota here under a marginal risk. Main risk can be for some strong winds during the overnight hours, maybe even a little bit of hail, but most likely that wind risk is going to be the main one. And it is going to be as a weak cold front does push its way through. And in terms of what we could see, the models still don't have a great grasp on it. This is from the NAM3K model. It does show some thunderstorms popping up across parts of central Minnesota right along that cold front. Like I said, it's fairly weak cold front, so not a lot of lifting, so not expecting a huge line of storms, but we could see a few. And then if you look at the ACRRR model, shows a little bit more widespread rain popping up across northwestern Minnesota, and that once again will track down off towards the St. Cloud, maybe even down towards the Twin Cities, but I don't think it's going to hold together for a super long time just due to weak forcing. So I think that will be of a chance of some thunderstorms later on in the evening, but I'm not expecting a whole lot. And then, although we do have a slight risk here in place for our day on Friday, one I'm really not thinking. I'm thinking this is also probably going to get maybe pushed up a little farther north, just because all the models are showing a lot of that thunderstorm activity late Friday night into Saturday, particularly across much of northern Minnesota here. I don't think I've really seen any model show much of any sort of rain across central Minnesota and rather even around St. Cloud. So I think the SPC will either keep the slight risk just because there's a very potent environment around, so it's very conducive for severe weather, but I think that best chance once again will be across northern Minnesota for a day on Friday, but obviously still a couple days out. So we'll have to watch and see kind of what ends up happening overall with the system over the next couple of days. And of course, all more updates if things really change, which is very possible because once again, still a few days out. And then the Storm Prediction Center, they do, as of right now, they have a hash area, which means significant severe weather. So basically anything, they're most likely looking at winds over 70 miles an hour. So once again, that line that does form wherever it does form across central or across Minnesota for a day on late Friday and then into Saturday could be very strong, bringing some very powerful winds. So addition to that, as we head into this weekend, it's going to get really gross out there. For our day on Saturday, you see numbers here saying mid 70s, and unfortunately it's not the temperature, it's the dew point. It's going to be very muggy out there, very gross. Combine that with temperatures well into the 90s, very dangerous to be outside for an extended period of time, especially if you don't have any sort of water. So make sure you're staying hydrated, staying cool, and honestly just try to limit as much time as you can outside. Conditions not going to get any better though for our day on Sunday. Even more widespread dew points into those mid, even upper 70s. So just still, honestly, this weekend, even if you're at your lake, make sure you're either staying in the water, try to limit your time out on a boat, or just stay inside because it's just not going to be fun to be outside at all. And once again, could become very dangerous if you're not paying close attention to either water consumption or just general health. But looking at our next 5 days, like I said, Thursday, Friday, those are the days we could see kind of those scattered thunderstorms, maybe even some severe weather in the overnight hours. Really watching Friday, seeing where that happens. This weekend, very nasty. Highs in the 90s, dew points in those upper 70s. It's going to feel probably something out of Florida out there, so it's not going to be very fun at all. And then by the time we head into Monday, that's when things will clear out just a little bit with that temperature of 78. Another cold front works through, but it'll bring around a few more chances of some showers and thunderstorms. So make sure to stay tuned. I'll do my best to have some more updates. I'll be gone on vacation starting Friday and then through this week and into early next week, but I'll still do my best to provide some updates, especially if we're expecting for severe weather. So stay tuned.